Selamat pagi, Cikgu.
Selamat pagi. Alright, welcome to our event for today. Alright, so just give us some time a bit to settle in, then we will start. Okay, so get ready and please throughout the session, you can also share your questions at the chat and we will address them towards the end. Okay. Alright, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and a very good morning everyone. A warm welcome to all our participants, parents, and future accountants to the UITM ECCA and ECCA FIA Virtual Open Day 2025. So thank you for spending your Saturday morning with us. My name is Nazrin Sawar Hamid. I'm one of the senior lecturers at the Faculty of Accountancy, UITM, and I will be your moderator for today. All right. So today's session is for all of you, whether you are currently pursuing your SPM, whether you are in diploma, degree, matriculation, or probably you are already in the ECCA FIA program. We will show you the different pathways UITM offers to help you achieve success in ECCA. All right, so we are live today via Google Meet and also YouTube. So do share the event link with your friends, with your families, and whoever may be interested in the ACCA program. The more the merrier, we say. All right, so and since we've just started, there's still time for others to join and can benefit from the session. All right, so just a quick icebreaker. Maybe all of you can type in the chat. Are you joining us as an SPM student or are you from diploma, degree, matriculation? Please share in the chat where you are from and at least we can know who our participants are for today. All right. So before we begin, just a quick reminder. Please keep your microphone muted throughout the talk. But however, do feel free to type your questions in the chat at any time, right? So next, let me share with you the flow for this morning. First, we'll hear from our main speaker, Madam Melissa Mamudi, who will guide us through the ECCA and ECCA FIA pathways. Then we'll move on to our alumni sharing session with Rif Daris, now with PwC Malaysia. After that, we'll hear from our world-class and Malaysian prize winners, Dennis Zafran and Rohana, who will share their study tips and motivation. Finally, we'll wrap up with a special Q&A session with all of our speakers together. And of course, I'm sure what you'll be waiting for as well is our lucky draw announcement, because 5 winners will receive free BSN PIN numbers and 3 winners will receive Zeus coffee vouchers worth 30 ringgit each. So stay tuned up to the end. You definitely don't want to miss that. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, dear participants, let's begin with our first session. Our first speaker for this morning is Madam Melissa Mamyudi, Senior Lecturer at the Faculty of Accountancy, UITM. She began her academic journey with a diploma in accountancy and later completed her Bachelor's of Accountancy both from University Technology Mara, UITM. She then pursued her master's degree in accounting, organizations and institutions from the London School of Economics, LSE, and is also an ACCA graduate from UITM. With more than 10 years of teaching experience, Madam Melissa has mentored prize winners, guided countless students through the FIA and ACCA pathway, and built many student success stories. She's from Subang Jaya, Selangor, and she is passionate about shaping the future of accountants. So without further ado, let's welcome Madam Melissa Mamyodi to deliver her talk.
Okay, thank you very much, Nazreen, for that very warm introduction. Okay, so let me just give me a few moments to share my screen. Okay, Assalamualaikum everyone, and thank you for spending your Saturday with me. Okay, I'm sure you have better things to do, but you're here, so congratulations on that. Okay, so as introduced by Madam Nazreen, I am Madam Melissa, and I have been here for almost 10 years, and mainly my experience is teaching ECCA. Okay, so for today's sharing session, I will cover these areas. Okay, so the first one, I'm going to cover what is a chartered accountant and how do you become one, and pursuing your ACCA or FIA at UITM. And I'm going to introduce you a bit to the university and also our faculty, the program details such as the fee, the structure, how to apply, and lastly, all the important dates that you need to be aware of, okay? Okay, so first things first, let us look into what is a chartered accountant and how do you become a chartered accountant, okay? So a chartered accountant is a qualified accounting professional who has completed a recognized chartered accountancy program and acquired approximately 3 years of supervised and practical experience in the field, okay? So we know that there are a lot of chartered accountancy program out there, but today my focus is on ACCA. Okay, so as you can see here, there are basically 4 routes that you can take to gain the qualification. Okay, so the first one is by going through the longer route, which is what I did, diploma, bachelor, professional qualification. And then you can take the shortest route, which is just pursuing your ACCA FIA together with your ACCA later on. And then we have matriculation plus your ACCA and then diploma to ACCA as well. Okay, so today's focus would be here. Okay, so I'm going to show you how you can gain this qualification the fastest. Okay. All right, so a little introduction into what is ACCA. Okay, so ACCA stands for Association of Chartered Certified Accountants, which is a leading international accountancy body based in London. Okay, so the ACCA qualification is recognized and is treated in other countries as being equivalent to their local qualification. So what does this mean? It means that with ACCA, you can work anywhere in the world without having to take any more additional qualification. Okay, so ACCA professional qualification is also equivalent to degree level by the MQA, which is the Malaysian Qualifications Agency, and ACCA is among the largest and fastest growing accountancy bodies. So they have over 250,000 qualified members and 500,000 students or future members across more than 170 countries. So this is where you as a student can actually take advantage of the situation because you can get resources from all over the internet, such as YouTube and etc. Okay, so now let's just have an overview look into what is inside the FIA syllabus. Okay, so as you can still recall here, you have to start with your ACCA FIA first, only then you can progress to your ACCA. So I'm going to tell you about FIA first, okay? All right, so ACCA FIA is the fastest and most efficient pathway to achieve a world-class ACCA qualification, and it is designed for our SPM graduates. Okay, so the study duration will be roughly around 1 to 1.5 years, okay, depending on how fast the student is in passing the examinations, okay. All right, so all exams are on-demand computer-based examination, means all your examinations will be based online, okay. So if you look here, okay, this is the syllabus. Okay, so we have roughly around 7 papers to attempt, and you would have to do this over the course of 1 year. Okay, so later on, I will show you how UITM would cater to these particular subjects. All right, so once you are done with your FIA, you do not just stop there. You have to proceed with your ACCA. Okay, so when you are proceeding with your ACCA, okay, you will immediately come in here, applied skills. Okay, so from your applied skills, there are still a few more papers before we move on to your strategic professional papers. Okay, so all exams again are computer-based examinations with exams every March, June, September, and December. But as you can see here, I've highlighted March and September because UITM only covers for March and September sittings. Okay, so now, just now I had a glance through the chat box through the Google Meet, and I saw that there are some students from different backgrounds, not only FIA, ada yang daripada SPM, ada yang daripada diploma, and ada juga yang daripada degree. So this is where ACCA would grant you exemptions, okay? So kalau you daripada FIA, you akan start dekat sini, okay? And then you akan gerak ke depan, okay? Tapi kalau you daripada diploma ataupun degree, mungkin you akan start dekat position yang berbeza-beza, okay? So macam mana you nak tahu where would you begin with, okay? With your paper here, okay? You would have to check your exemptions, okay? So do take note that this slide is only applicable for those students who come into the ACCA program with either a diploma or a degree or perhaps a different qualification altogether, okay? Sebab yes, we do have students, for example, with a degree from finance pursuing ACCA here at UITM. So what they would have to do is, first things first, they would have to check their exemptions, okay? But if you are from FIA, you don't have to do this because you would immediately start from the start point yang tadi I tunjuk tu. Okay, so if you are from other backgrounds other than FIA, I would suggest you to go through and look through your exemptions here first before applying, okay, to ACCA. Okay, so at least you can know and you can predict, okay, berapa lama lagi your journey inside this study. Okay, so here you can go here. This is the instructions. So first things first, what you can do is you can just Google, okay, ACCA exemption calculator, and this screen would pop up, okay, and you just have to key in all your qualifications, okay. And dia akan tunjuk kat you lah what paper are you exempted, and you can start your ACCA journey. Okay. Alright. So why should you choose ACCA, FIA, or ACCA? Okay. The first things first. This is what students are very interested with this qualification. Is that because it is the fastest route to a professional accounting qualification. Okay, so yes, okay. So when you pursue FIA and then immediately to ACCA, your journey will roughly take dalam 3 tahun. Okay, macam lebih kurang 3 to 3.5 years. Okay, as compared to you taking a diploma, degree, and ACCA, it will take slightly longer. Okay, but you have to remember, having said that, when it's fastest, it doesn't mean it's the easiest. It would be also the most challenging. Okay. All right. Secondly, if you look here, you have better employment prospects. Okay, so what does it mean? Okay, because you have shown ability in all areas of business. Because later on, when you learn this qualification, you will find that the syllabus is very robust and it always caters to the changes, okay, in the industry, such as previously we had written-based examinations, but now because they got input from the employers where they say that the students need to be more equipped with computer skills, so they decided to move all the exams online, okay? All right. Thirdly, it is internationally recognized. Okay, so if you have ambitions to work overseas, this is the qualification for you. Okay, and number 4, we have a uniform worldwide syllabus. Okay, so this is what I mentioned just now. It would be a very big advantage to you because you have resources from all over the world, okay? So for example, you just have to go to YouTube and then search, for example, the name of the question, and you can find that there are actually various videos helping you go through it one by one. So on top of what the lecturers are teaching you here, you can get additional knowledge, okay, from the websites, okay? All right. Okay, so I'm done, okay, telling you with what is a chartered accountant and how you can become one. So now I'm going to move on to the 3 points here, which is pursuing your ACCA FIA or ACCA at UiTM. I'm going to talk a bit about the university and our faculty, and then the very important part, which is the program details, okay, such as the fee, the structure, and etc. Okay. All right, so about UiTM. Okay, so UiTM is the largest comprehensive university in Malaysia. So we have roughly around 34 campuses, 24 faculties, and 7 academic centers, which focuses on research. Okay, and then we have over 800,000 alumni. Okay, all over Malaysia. Okay, so at a glance, this is basically all the resources that we have. We have 500 plus academic programs, 190,000 students at the moment, 19,000 staffs, okay, 30 faculties, 34 campuses, and over 800,000 alumni. Okay, so this is UiTM top executive management, and this is our faculty executive management. Okay, so this is our faculty profile, okay, which, by the way, we aim to be a globally renowned faculty that produces global accountants who are value creators, okay? So as part of our initiative to achieve this is where we really try to promote this program because it would help us achieve this, okay, vision and mission in the future. All right, so a little bit of background about the faculty in case the audience are wondering, are we really equipped to teach this qualification given that it's very difficult and all that? Yes, we are. Okay, so as you can see here, we have been teaching this particular qualification since 1967. So we have years and years of experience teaching this qualification. Okay, so you don't have to worry if you would have to send your sons and daughters to us, or even you are trying to contemplate, okay, between institutions. We are here to help you, okay? All right, so these are amongst the programs offered, okay? So we do have masters, okay, PhD, bachelor, diploma, but again, my focus is this two right here, okay? All right, so now I'm going to brief a bit about studying ACCA FIA at UiTM. Okay, so just now previously I gave an overall overview, but now I'm going to go slightly more specific on how it is to study ACCA FIA at University Technology Mara with us. Okay, so for ACCA FIA, we offer in 3 campuses, which is Shah Alam, Kapah, and Dumun. Okay, so you would have 2 semesters that you have to complete within a year. Okay, so previously I did mention up to 1.5 years because perhaps some student needs more time, maybe dia terpaksa repeat certain papers, so we give them another buffer of half a year. Okay, so 1 semester would be roughly around 17 weeks. Okay, so during your first semester, these are the papers that you would have to cover, and during the second semester, these are the papers that you would have to cover before you move on to the ACCA qualification. Okay, so yang ini ACCA FIA. So in other words, if you are from SPM, okay, you would start here first. Okay. All right, so once you are done with your FIA qualification, you do not just stop there. You have to remember, when you want to become a chartered accountant, you have to move forward, okay? So here, we proceed with ACCA qualification, okay? So for the ACCA qualification, okay, if you are from FIA, okay, yang ini FIA, if you are from FIA, okay, you would start with PM and financial reporting during the first semester. And then you move on with law and taxation, audit and assurance, financial management, and then we have one module, which is our EPSM module. So this is a module by ACCA, bukan UiTM punya, ACCA punya. And then we move on to the last 2 professional papers, okay? So if you are from degree, okay, biasanya you akan start dekat sini, okay? So kalau you daripada FIA, you akan start daripada awal ni, okay, dekat sini, okay? Diploma pun somewhere roughly around here, okay? And also matriculation. Okay, sorry, tulisannya macam caca mebel sikit, tapi hopefully faham. Okay, so faham Okay, so this is your journey lah basically. Okay, sebab tadi kan ada a few from various backgrounds. So you have to know where you stand, okay, ataupun where you start, okay. So again, if you are unclear, okay, sebenarnya which paper am I supposed to take? Remember, ACCA exemption calculator. So if you have an FIA, you don't have to do it. But if you are from diploma ke, degree ke, please, I would suggest you to put through your qualification dalam the ACCA exemption calculator tu. Okay, baru you decide. Okay, alright. Okay, so in UITM, oh sorry, before that, I just want to highlight that summer, we will have 2 semesters, okay, which is October, March, and then April, September, okay, and we will have 17 weeks of teaching and learning and 3 internal assessments, okay, when you pursue your ACCA with us, okay. All right, so we have academic support for all our students, okay, so when you enroll with us, we will make sure that we will monitor your academic progression, okay, such as your class attendance, internal assessment performance, intervention programs, okay. So some students, they might lack motivation or perhaps they are slightly behind as compared to their friends. So this is when the faculty will intervene, okay, and help them and guide them along the way, okay. And we emphasize that we only allow 2 papers only per semester, okay. Okay, so when you join us as well, you will be assigned an academic advisor. So this academic advisor will guide you on matters pertaining to studies throughout the whole program. So let's say along the way you get confused or you feel like you don't want to take this paper first, you want to take another paper, you should consult with your academic advisor. Okay, and also we have a very strong exam support, okay, whereby we give exam techniques workshop, IRCs, which is intensive revision classes, and industrial talks and physics. Okay. All right, so this is the free structure at UITM. Okay, so as you can see here, okay, I've given you a few options. Okay, so ACCA FIA, this one, okay, this is roughly what you will spend to get the FIA qualification. Okay, so when you pursue your ACCA, this is the cost that you will need to incur next. Okay, so as you can see here, there are different prices as well. So, but like I say, it all depends on your exemption that is being granted. Okay, and I would just like to emphasize here that this is all subjected to exchange rate fluctuations. So the higher the exchange rate means the higher the fees would be. Okay, so now the quoted fees include number 1, UITM tuition fees, number 2, ACCA registration fees, ACCA fees, okay, and then we have the study materials as well, which is this access to your study hub, revision classes, and then lastly your graduate employability sessions. Okay, so I highlighted these 2 matters right here, okay, because ACCA registration fees and exemption fees is something that you have to occur once off, okay, throughout your ACCA journey. Okay, yang lain ni semua adalah recurring, ya. Okay, so like I said, these fees, okay, is just an approximation sahaja, tapi this is what you would spend approximately to get the ACCA qualification. Okay. Alright, so these are some funding options which are available. Okay, so one thing that sets UITM ataupun as apart from all the other universities out there is that we have the study grant. Okay, so study grant will be granted to students starting from their 2nd semester above, okay, provided that they apply for the study grant, okay, so UITM akan bayarkan the paper that they are sitting, okay, for that particular semester. Tapi ingat, you hanya boleh apply the 2nd semester onwards sebab kita nak tengok results you macam mana dulu during your 1st semester. Okay, so this is something yang hanya UITM ada, okay, sebab dia nak tolong lah, dia nak tolong student sebab ACCA fees would be tinggi. Okay, bila you nak sit for the exam, it would be high, okay, depending on the rate and whatever. So you can apply for the study grant, okay. Next, we have PTPN as well, Yayasan Peneraju, okay, MARA, Yayasan Terengganu, and others, okay. So for item 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ni, students would have to apply on their own, okay, with the respective bodies, okay. Hanya number 1 sahaja yang masa semester ongoing kita akan inform kepada students, okay. So bila kita inform kepada student, that is when you should apply for the study grant, okay. Alright, so to introduce a bit to you with regards to our faculty, so this is our management team. We have Puan Rosila as the head, and then we have Dr. Hafiza, Dr. Hazlina, and Nur Aisha. Okay, so this is the top management at our faculty DPAS, okay. And then these are the lecturers, okay. So this is our teaching team, okay. Alright, so for UITM, okay, Faculty of Accountancy, we have over 13 campuses all over Malaysia. So we are one of the biggest, I would say, faculty in UITM, okay, because we are located in over 13 campuses. But you have to remember for ACCA, hanya yang ini sahaja ya, okay. Dungun Terengganu, ACCA FIA, Perak, ACCA FIA juga. Shah Alam yang ada dua-dua, FIA and ACCA. Okay? So mungkin masa FIA you akan diallocate kepada Tapah ataupun Dungun, tapi nanti bila you buat ACCA memang you will be placed in Shah Alam. Okay? Alright, so we also have platinum status since 2010. Okay, so what is platinum status? So this is something that we are very proud of because this is the highest level of recognition that the ACCA grants to its approved learning partners. Okay, so it means that when a university gets the platinum status, it shows the exceptional teaching quality, the student support that we give to the students, exam performance, that we managed to meet the ACCA global benchmark. Okay, so you don't have to worry. I would say that you are in safe hands when you join us, okay, for ACCA FIA or ACCA itself. Okay, and we also have MQA accreditation. So this is very important, okay, because it shows that ACCA is recognized, okay, at Malaysian level, okay. All right, so these are some of our prize winners. Okay, so Alhamdulillah, almost every semester we manage to get some prize winners, okay, with regards to certain papers. Okay, so after this, we will have a session with the prize winners. Okay, so you will get insights from them on how it is to study ACCA with us. Okay. And this is the top athletes, okay. So layanan dengan prize winner tu kalau dia markah tertinggi for that particular sitting. Tapi top athletes ni, it means that they graduate with really, really high marks for the qualification. Okay, so we have 3 in total. Okay, so this is our milestones, I would say. Okay, these are all the athletes ataupun the number of athletes that we managed to get since 2020. So in total, we have over 358 ACCA athletes, okay. And these are some, okay, of athletes ataupun alumni, okay, our ACCA alumni, okay, that are currently working all over the world. Okay, we have more actually, but these are just some to name a few. Okay, so when you study with us, we will have student association and ambassadorship. Okay, so ambassadorship means this is where the big four companies such as PwC, Deloitte, they will appoint some students from our faculty to liaise, okay, ataupun to help organize activities and whatnot. Okay, so if you are the type of student who likes all these extracurricular activities, then I would say that this is something that we are also proud of because we have a very strong connection with the industry. Okay, so a little bit of tour, okay, of our faculty. So this is some of the floors, okay, that we occupy at Menara Saas UiTM Shah Alam. So Menara Saas consists of 14 levels, okay. So we cover roughly like level 7, 8, okay, 10, and also 14, okay. These are just some of the student activities. Okay, I cannot put all sebab kalau letak semua macam penuh sangat. Okay, but these are some of the student activities that you can involve yourself later on when you become a student. Okay, so as you can see here, we always connect, okay, our activities with the industry so that ada impact lah lebih kepada situ. Okay. Alright, and this is the accommodation, okay, that students are being provided with usually during the first semester sahaja. Okay, so depending on you're coming from which, okay, if I'm not mistaken, SCFIA you will get accommodation for full 1 year, tapi later on bila ACCA tu biasa dibagi 1 semester saja. After that you would have to reapply, okay. Alright, so I'm done with briefing all that 4 matters. Now, the most important thing is how to apply to this particular program, okay. So before you want to apply, please check on your entry requirements, okay. So actually one of the most important entry requirements is you would have to be a Bumiputra, okay, a Malay Bumiputra. And then next you have to look into your qualification, okay, tengok, do you meet the minimal entry requirement ke tak? Kalau yes, please apply to us, okay. Alright, so now how to apply? Okay, macam mana kita nak apply kepada program ni? Now you have to remember ACCA, FIA, and ACCA, we do not go through UPU. Okay, so we have our own application system. Okay, so kalau you apply UPU is UPU. Okay, tapi ACCA, FIA dengan ACCA ni you have to apply through UITM directly. Okay, so this is the website right here. Oops, sorry. Okay, so this is the website pengambilan uitm.edu.my. So where you kena apply dekat sini you have to apply here. So the most common question that we get from students is, if I dah apply kat UPU, dia akan kacau tak application I dekat sini? Tidak. Okay, dia tak. Okay, sebab dia tak connected dekat situ. Okay, so it's a separate thing altogether. Okay, so you have to apply. So contohnya kalau you nak apply diploma, you apply lah dekat UPU. Tapi kalau you nak apply for ACCA, FIA dengan ACCA ni, you have to apply through our website. Okay, so how do you apply for the website? Through the website, first things first, buy the BSN fees. Okay, RM17 dekat BSN. Okay, cakapkan dia you nak beli PIN program 3 professional UiTM. Yang ni okay, and then you log in and then you apply at the website. Okay, alright, now I want to emphasize here yang ini penting okay. Lepas you dah apply online, you have to send a copy of the documents to our faculty. Okay, sebab we need to double check on your qualification. Okay, so lepas you dah apply online tu, make sure you gather all your certificates and whatnot, get them certified and then mail it, okay, to our faculty. Okay, so the address is right here. Okay, so nanti biasanya at the end of your application dia akan keluarlah that reminder, sebab ada some students dia tak nampak reminder tu. Okay, so you have to send your physical documents to the faculty. Okay, alright, and then lastly I would like to highlight on the important dates that you would need to be aware of, okay, if you want to apply to us. Okay, first things first, okay, if you would like to join us during the next semester, okay, you can start applying on 29th of October. Okay, so belum buka lagi, dia akan buka 29 Oktober. So sekarang apa yang you kena buat, you should start checking your entry requirements, whether you meet or not. Okay, and then go buy your PIN BSN first and then wait. Okay, wait until the application dah buka, baru you apply. Okay, so kat sini I ada highlight. Okay, we open for ACCA and also FIA. But FIA you kena make sure you pakai SPM results, and SPM result you adalah tidak lebih daripada 3 tahun ke belakang. Okay, kalau lebih daripada 3 tahun belakang kita tidak boleh nak proses. Okay, alright. For ACCA, you have to remember that we provide full-time and also part-time. So if you are currently working and you want to add on to your professional qualification, yes, you can apply to us. Okay, so but we do provide part-time as well. Okay, now after you fill in the application, remember you kena hantar your hard copy document whatever to us. You will be called for an aptitude test and interview session. Okay, so it means that if you are successful, we've already gone through your documents and we feel that yes, okay, you can continue on with us, we will call you for aptitude test and an interview session. Okay, and then after this interview session only we will announce whether you are successful or not. Okay, so the reason why we do the interview session is because we want to know our students better, and we want to select, okay, those students who are very passionate to take on this particular qualification. Okay, so this is if you want to join us the next semester, which is April 26. But if you are planning to join us in September 26 intake, okay, or in other words, SPM, okay, you tengah tunggu result SPM you, this is the tentative date. Okay, tentative sahaja ya, okay, sebab kita kena tunggulah SPM results keluar bila and whatnot. Okay, so tentatively the application would open on 25th March. Okay, tentatively it might be subject to changes. Okay, so you always have to be aware, okay, inside the website. All right. Okay, so if you have any other queries that we did not address during this talk, okay, or perhaps we came short on time, okay, don't hesitate to contact us at the faculty. Okay, so you can call this line right here, okay, and our coordinator will be happy to answer all the questions that you have, okay, or you can also email us with your queries. Okay. All right, so I would like to end my talk today with this quote. Okay, success doesn't come from what you do occasionally; it comes from what you do consistently. Okay, so I feel like this quote is very, very suitable for today's session because I'm sure that majority have of you have heard very beautiful things about ACCA, where students always say that oh, it's very difficult and whatnot. But you have to remember, if you put enough effort, it will come to you. Okay, inshallah. Okay, so with that, thank you very much, and I hope to answer some of your questions after the end of the session. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Madam Melissa, for the clear and informative session. I believe all of us now have a better understanding of how ACCA and FIA pathways work and the many opportunities waiting for those who pursue this qualification with UITM. So everyone, let's give a virtual round of applause to Madam Melissa. Thank you so much. All right, so and for those who just joined us right now, we still have some exciting sessions ahead. We have our alumni sharing session, and we will also have sharing from our prize winners. So do stay with us until the end. And yes, you can still share the link with your friends and with your families who want to join us today. So just a quick reminder, please continue to share your questions in the chat. We'll collect all of them and we will address with the end of our session, which we will have a special Q&A with all of the speakers together. So do stay tuned until the very end. Okay, so we will proceed with our next session. Let me share my screen. Okay, dear participants. All right, so we are moving on to another exciting part of our program, which is our alumni sharing session. Okay, with us today is Rif Daris bin Rakimi, a UITM ACCA alumnus who is now an audit associate at PwC Malaysia, as well as a strategic controller. So during his study days, Rif was definitely a dynamic leader serving as president of APEX in the year 2022 and 2023. He was also an honorary treasurer of the MPP in year 2023 and 2024. He's originally from Batu Pahat, Johor. And dear participants, beyond his professional career, Rif is now part of Small Changes Malaysia, which is a youth-led NGO that focuses on tackling education inequality among underprivileged students across the country. And through this platform, he and other young leaders design programs, initiatives to help close the education gap and empower students. So, from student leader to a professional at one of the big four firms, this journey shows how UITM ACCA graduate can definitely go far. So, ladies and gentlemen, dear participants, let's give a warm welcome, virtual welcome to Rif Daris. Okay, Rif, Assalamualaikum, Rif.
Salam, madam.
Okay. All right, so how are you, Rif?
I'm
How are
good.
you doing?
Just a bit of disclaimer. Just like what Madam Nazin mentioned just now, I am part of Small Changes. I'm actually like in the middle of the project right now, but I have an exemption time for this particular session. But I'm currently at a very open space, so please don't mind if there's any like background noises or apa. But I will try my best to share with you guys what I can share lah. Okay.
All right, thank you so much. No worries, Arif. So this shows his ability to multitask and definitely portrays his personality of a dynamic leader. Okay, Arif, so how does it feel to be again part of a UITM program? How does it feel?
Uh, I susah sebenarnya for me to explain it in words because for information I've taken foundation for 1 year, foundation in ACCA for 1 year, and then 2.5 years at ACCA UiTM. To be honest, I felt very orang kata nostalgic sikit because walaupun I just graduated in March this year, for information I graduated in March this year, but I feel like my university experience in terms of like 3.5 years compared to other students who have like probably at a minimum of 4 years having in university life. So compared to like for me, I have a limited amount of time to spend at UiTM. So to the fact that I get to be invited and to share my experience with you guys, on how I am as a UITM and also an ACCA student is such a privilege lah. It's such a privilege because every time I go back to ITM, as corny as it sounds, I really love UITM and I would take any chance possible that I can to come back to UITM, although I'm already an PwC audit associate. So yeah, it's grateful. I'm happy to be here.
Alhamdulillah. And we're so happy to have you here, Rif. All right. Okay. So, dear participants, before we start our session with Rif, just a quick reminder, feel free to type at the chat what do you want to know more about Rif's journey as a student or as an employee currently, and we will address them during the Q&A session. All right, Rif. So let's start. So let's just rewind a little bit. Okay, so how did you first decide to take ACCA? Was it something that you always had in mind, or was there a moment that actually pushed you to start the ACCA path?
All right. So in terms of okay, let's rewind until like 2020. I think like 2021 I finished my SPM. Oh no, let's go way back to 2019. So sebenarnya when I heard the first time I heard about ACCA is after my SPM, but I think it's better if we go back a bit further, a bit to the back to know where I get this interest of accounting first and foremost, because I want to highlight first and foremost about minat, about your interest in accounting, because whether you are interested in accounting or you are interested in mass comm or law or whatnot, it's really important that before you embark into any of your studies, you need to have, to me lah, you need to have that interest at least so that you can go further in that course that you are taking. So for my case, I started to learn about accounting, of course, during my Form 4, and I'm quite intrigued with accounting first and foremost because they play with a lot of numbers. I'm pretty sure most of our audiences here, some people got that stigma of, okay, budak accounting ni suka nombor-nombor. Tapi the more I learn about accounting, the more I discover about ACCA. So when I heard about ACCA, I'm pretty sure you guys also know ACCA is the top professional accounting qualification in the world right now. Of course, you got other qualifications like ICAEW, CPA Australia. For your information, there are other professional qualifications lah. But ACCA is the number one qualification in the world. And the fact that UiTM is serving this course really orang kata really eye catching, also macam intrigue to me lah, because first and foremost I think that ACCA is the best, and my notion in life most of the time when I study is that I want to get the best out of the education, I want to get the best out of the qualification. So that's one of the reason I picked ACCA in the first place. So that's how I first decide. And then I also have like influences from my teachers. I have my former accounting teacher, nama dia Sir Rizman. So what he did is that he shared with me like this numerous I would say numerous paths that you can take for you to get to that final route as an ACCA student. But make sure at the end of the day, the fact that you guys are joining here and you guys know what you guys are taking on, you guys must understand that ACCA is basically the end goal for, not like the end goal, I mean like the end goal in terms of your studies. So whether you are going through your degree route and then you want to join into ACCA, or you want to go to foundation FIA and then you want to go to ACCA, whatever it is, the end goal should be ACCA. At least that's for me lah, because that is the best professional qualification out there. So another reason yang kenapa I take ACCA and why ACCA is part of my plan is that as you guys know, like from what Madam Melissa just now shared, foundation ni tak makan, foundation and ACCA combine all of those punya courses tak makan masa lama. So basically compared to traditional courses which would take about like 4 to 5 years, whether you take like diploma and also and then your degree, that would typically go about 4 or 5 years. But when you're taking foundation in ACCA and then ambil ACCA in the span of 3.5 years, and then you can already enter the workforce. So for your information, I am a fresh graduate. I mean like as soon as I'm the fresh graduate, I already get a placement for PwC. Meaning like my qualification as an ACCA student, when I am considered as an ACCA affiliate, I can indefinitely just go through the workforce and then apply as many jobs as I can, especially the Big Four. So for those yang not aware of what the Big Four is, let me share it with you. So basically, Big Four is basically the top 4 accounting firms in the world. And one of it adalah PwC, which is the place that I'm working right now lah. So alhamdulillah I got a placement in PwC. But basically what I'm trying to point here is a fast track. It's a fast track orang kata punya course lah. That's what I'm trying to say. And then one of the main reason, like, because you guys must remember that UiTM is the one and only public university that provides ACCA studies. So when you learn more about UiTM, you know that UiTM maklumat dia adalah untuk membantu golongan-golongan bumi putera. It's not meant untuk menindaskan or vice versa lah macam tu. So bila kita tengok, of course ACCA punya yuran, as you guys can see, memang tadi beribu-ribu ringgit. Tapi dekat UiTM ni, like Madam Melissa again, dia dah present tadi just now, the number of financial support and also education support yang ada dekat UiTM ni cukup membadai. Jadi just tinggal untuk student untuk cari je the opportunity and also untuk cari pertolongan tersebut. So that's one of the reason lah. And untuk yuran ACCA. Untuk yuran UiTM jauh-jauh lebih murah berbanding dengan universiti-universiti awam yang lain. You guys are paying for about 400 or 500 per semester, while universiti awam yang lain ada provide yuran yang lebih mahal daripada tu sebenarnya kalau you guys check the market. So that's like one of the reason I pick ACCA. And nak dikatakan kalau ACCA itu memang bila dia termuncul dalam kepala saya adalah lepas SPM. So kalau you guys adalah lepasan SPM, which I'm pretty sure some of you guys are, it's never too late for you to learn about what are the choices that you guys can get. So I'm so happy that you guys are here. You guys are learning about what the opportunities that you guys are taking. So yeah, this is basically where you guys are right now. It's basically where I'm at 2 to 3 years ago. So my advice is that try to open your eyes and see what are the opportunities being presented. But UiTM so far has presented the best out of the best. All right. So yeah, that's my take on the first question.
Thank you so much, Rick. Very well explained, very clear, and very interesting as well. So I'm sure that all of our participants here who is also trying to make a big decision like what you did previously after SPM or after diploma or after degree. And I like what you said just now, that the end goal is ACCA. The end goal is the professional qualification. So what we can see here, dear participants, that is not about being perfect from the start. It's about making the right choice and staying consistent. Very well explained. And I like the fact you also mentioned that it's also about your interests and the fact that you guys are here entering into this online session is already the part of the first step of your ACCA journey, inshallah. So thank you so much, Ray. All right, now let's go to the second question. Okay, I'm sure looking at your background just now, right, everybody has this question in mind. You took on a big role and a responsibility during your ACCA studies. You were, bukan calang-calang punya role, you were the president of APEX, our ACCA Student Society. So the big question is, how did you balance it all? Like balancing your studies, at the same time leading a student society, joining activities with APEX. Okay, how did you manage all that, and how did that create an opportunity for you towards your professional career?
All right, thank you so much for the question. Okay, so just like what Madam Nazrin mentioned just now, for your information, I have been the president of the Association of Professional Accounting Student APEX. Masa tu baru tahun pertama saya dekat dalam UiTM. Masa tu kita dalam zaman endemic lagi. Masa tu ada virtual, ada physical class, hybrid and whatnot. So during that time, I am the president of APEX from 2022 and then 2023. So basically I have a 1-year tenure. So before I share with you how I actually like juggle between my studies and my extracurricular involvement, so I just want to give you guys an insight about APEX. Just a brief one lah. So macam tadi Madam Mel bentangkan tadi ada student organisasi yang namanya APEX. So sebenarnya APEX ni adalah satu badan organisasi which is student led. Maknanya pelajar-pelajar ACCA sendiri yang membimbing. Maknanya akan ada presiden dia, akan ada dia punya bendahari kehormat, ada dia punya setiausaha, ada exco akademik, exco sukan dan sebagainya. So sebenarnya APEX ni memainkan peranan yang sangat penting dekat pelajar-pelajar ACCA UiTM. Sebab apa tau? Sebab my notion here is that APEX ni akan melengkapkan budak-budak UiTM ACCA in terms of diorang punya soft skill, diorang punya communication skills, diorang punya critical thinking dan sebagainya. Sebabnya there's only so much that you can learn outside of the classroom. the ACCA syllabus by right already merangkumi segala perkara yang orang kata professional accountant should have. Tapi dengan requirement of macam nak menggunakan Microsoft Excel ataupun nak belajar berkomunikasi dengan your superior, macam mana nak menyelesaikan masalah, macam mana nak manage time, how you want to network dengan orang-orang firma accountant kat luar sana. Apex ni lah platform dia. So sebagai presiden, I was in the responsibility, apa-apa yang saya buat adalah for the students. Make sure the students gain the most benefit out of it. Contohnya program-program yang kita buat adalah berteraskan dengan we approach external firms, the big 4 firms yang saya sebut tadi, 4 syarikat accounting terbesar dekat dunia. Ada branch-branch dekat Malaysia, kita jemput diorang, we invite them to give insights, to do activities with us, and we provide platform for the students to basically network with these people so that they can get a glimpse what is it like to be in the workforce. So I'm basically the president at that time. So that is about Apex. Macam mana I balance dengan study pula? Oh man. Okay, so I think in terms of balancing studies, I have my own way lah per se. I'm pretty sure nanti when you get to the prize winner students, they have a much better or structured way. Tapi I share with you how I do it, because the thing is, being a president of Apex and also helming your responsibility as a student, as an ACCA student, dua-dua tu as equally as important, especially when you're the president. You boleh probably bertimbang-timbang and like give and take in terms of being an ACCA or being an EXCO member. But being the president, especially because you are holding the overall accountability and responsibility towards all of your anak-anak buah and also your mission and your program apa benda semua. So, in terms of like how I handle it, of course, tak lain tak bukan your time management needs to be on point. And your time management bukannya, kita tak semestinya macam time management kita nak cakap, okay hari ni, maknanya contohnya setiap hari Isnin you want to do sekian-sekian. Setiap Selasa kena buat sekian-sekian. For me, that doesn't work for me. Sebabnya, my schedule kadang-kadang berubah-ubah. And also dia berubah condition in terms of contohnya Apex tiba-tiba ada urgent meeting ataupun Apex ni kena ada program hari sekian-sekian pada tarikh sekian-sekian. So bila jadi macam tu, dia disrupt my timetable plan apa benda semua. So bila jadi macam tu, you need to be flexible lah. Kalau for me, I need to be flexible and also make sure that every day I have a checklist of the minimum things that I do. Contohnya, for your information, dekat UiTM, ACCA, you are taking 2 subjects per semester. So, for my study wise, I memang akan allocate 4 jam sehari untuk study. That is the bare minimum. Kalau boleh push lebih. Tapi that is like the bare minimum. 2 jam untuk subjek pertama, 2 jam untuk subjek kedua. So, at least lah, you are not being too distracted with your extracurricular stuff sampai terlupa your studies. Sebab you came here in the first place untuk study. So, that is the thing that I've been advised so much and being emphasized so much by my lecturers and also my timbalan dekan. So they advise me so much about this and I memang pegang betul-betul kata-kata tu. So you really need to know yourself as well. How is your academic performance and what is your responsibility outside of the class? Because you are signing up for being an ACCA student, but at the same time you want to involve as well in the extracurricular stuff, which is good. Tapi you need to have that balance so that kedua-dua tanggungjawab ni you guys tak tertinggal. So akan ada masa that you will put a bit of more time into Apex compared to dengan studies and vice versa. Sometimes kita akan tak study lebih daripada Apex. Whatever it is, just don't worry kalau rasa macam tak ada keseimbangan. Sebabnya memang at the end of the day memang akan ada ketidakseimbangan. You just need to manage to iterate in the middle. So that's how I do it lah. And kejap. Lepas tu, another thing yang I nak mention, how do I manage to handle Apex with my study set, is that I need to give props to my team, my Apex team during that time. Because one of the main challenges of us during that time is that we are fresh out of the endemic phase. So we want to do, we are getting started to do physical events semula during that time. And kita tak tahu apa-apa banyak pasal SOP ataupun pasal macam mana nak kena event-event protokol-protokol yang tertentu. Tapi at the time kita belajar tu pun, we have a really supportive team, meaning like I try to make sure yang of course the top committees including me, the secretary, the treasurer and also the head of department, of course diorang ambil accountability, tapi I need orang-orang bawah juga, meaning like the exco to help their orang kata bukan superior tapi maknanya like dia punya head of department as well. So diorang tolong satu sama lain and tak adalah I nampak macam ada seorang yang terlebih buat kerja, ada yang seorang terkurang buat kerja in terms of macam bila kita buat event apa benda semua, ataupun just buat admin stuff dalam Apex basically. So that is basically how I manage to balance lah, because I have a really supportive team yang macam walaupun kalau di masa I tengah busy study, ada my vice president untuk tolong backupkan I, ataupun contohnya dalam department exco multimedia, head of department dia busy, adalah anak-anak buah dia akan tolong. So I try to instill that in my team. So that is something that I'm proud to say that we achieve lah. And then in terms of prepping for my professional career, being an Apex president, ada 4 benda sebenarnya yang I nak cover. Yang pertama adalah tanggungjawab. Whether you guys go into any of the top firms ataupun SME in the future, benda yang paling dekat dengan manusia bila bekerja ni adalah tanggungjawab, responsibility. So even sebagai ACCA student pun, bila you masuk kelas and you are being given homework ataupun task to do, that is your responsibility. Tapi you akan rasa lebih lagi tanggungjawab bila you memikul satu lagi tanggungjawab dalam Apex ataupun extracurricular punya stuff. So benda tu train I untuk bila I masuk dalam firm, I tahu tanggungjawab I know what I'm supposed to do, so that I tak adalah tertinggal kat mana-mana. Itu yang pertama. Yang kedua adalah strategic planning. Strategic planning ni, dalam Apex, contohnya dalam Apex yang saya conduct ni, kita ada yearly plan. Maknanya bulan ni kita akan buat program apa, bulan ni akan buat program apa, kita akan ada program apa dengan fakulti sekian-sekian. So kita kena plan elok-elok on that. So bila jadi macam tu, we need to manage our time, we need to manage our plannings, and sometimes our planning tu pun tak, orang kata tak berlaku as we expect. Maknanya benda yang kita plan tak semestinya benda tu betul-betul jadi. Macam apa yang kita rancang tak semestinya betul-betul jadi. So we need to be flexible at that point of time as well. Lepas tu lagi satu, of course, how to handle task lah. And you need to, especially dalam accounting ataupun auditing firm and whatnot, you guys need to be brave untuk, kalau you guys tak tahu, try to seek for help. Try to seek for help from your colleagues ke, ataupun kalau dalam waktu you guys study ataupun dalam waktu you guys dalam extracurricular stuff, you guys boleh tanya your lecturer, you guys boleh tanya kawan-kawan you. So that's how I utilize what I gain from Apex to my work life right now lah. So I hope that answers your question lah.
Yes, definitely. So inspiring, Rif. It's so great to hear that you had such an amazing experience, not just as a student, but also leading the Apex committee. And I love how you mentioned not just about the academic side, but you also mentioned about networking, about the ability to develop friendships, teamwork, and so forth. And that's very, it's a good experience for any student, because university life is, books and exams are of course important, but there are more things that you can gain from your study life, which is, like you said, that you get teamwork, you get to build memories, and you dapat grow as a person. Okay, so what Reef said just now was very important. Like if there are any, for example, inshallah, if one day you become part of our university students here joining us for the ACCA program, and if there are any Apex events organized by them, it has been well thought of, betul tak Reef? Dia ada objektif dia ada skills yang you boleh dapat, and that can better develop you as a person with your skills and such. And I like all the core values that you mentioned. That's very well explained, Rif. Thank you so much. Okay, Rif, we have maybe we can go through just one or two more questions, Rif. So there is one good question actually that we got from the survey that we got from a Google Form survey. Some would like to know about the job hunting process. What was it like after you graduate? Was it challenging to get a job opportunity and such with your ACCA qualification?
Alright. Okay, so for my job hunting, okay. Of course, this is my own, orang kata, my own experience. It's because some others punya experience might be differ from mine, and I'm basically going to share you guys how I basically got this job here at PwC Malaysia. Okay, so I try to cerita in chronological order lah. So basically when I finished my studies in March 2025, while I was waiting for my result, that is the time when you can actually start to look for jobs. And for information, at least that's from my experience and from my friend punya experience, you don't have to wait until like you, contohnya you guys are on your final year already or final semester. During your final semester, you can already start job hunting lah basically. because there are job openings that opens for like fresh graduates. So meaning like after you finish your study and inshallah during that time probably you already pass, you can already masuk straight into the workforce. Or kalau from my case, I jenis yang waktu lepas I dah habis study, I need to have a bit of buffer time for me to like chill out sekejap because I tiga tahun setengah study. So kita akan let dulu and then baru kita akan start job hunting. Okay. So for your information, I apply for about tak banyak sebenarnya. Kalau compare for your information, some of my friends they apply like more than 10 companies, and that includes the big four. That also includes I would say SMEs and also other companies yang ada kat luar sana. Tapi for my case, this is something I want to share a bit of tips yet. Probably because you guys baru start awal, this is one of the tips yang I dah bagi awal-awal. I basically untuk PWC, I did not even apply dekat dalam the website. Sebab for your information, kalau korang tahu LinkedIn, ada satu aplikasi nama dia LinkedIn which is for corporate networking and also job opportunities. Ada HR PWC sendiri yang approach I, yang cakap, are you interested to apply for PWC audit? So, how I got that message in the first place is because of the continuous effort for me to build networking dekat PWC and all of the other big fours. So, basically from here, for 3.5 years, I studied kat ACCA. I studied ACCA at UiTM and also my involvement dalam Apex ataupun dalam Majlis Perwakilan Pelajar. I document it dalam LinkedIn. So, LinkedIn ni is a really great platform for you to network with orang kata orang-orang korporat luar ataupun HR yang betul-betul mencari orang untuk recruit. So for my case, the job hunting for me, alhamdulillah, PWC datang kat I lah, meaning I tak ada nak mencari dia. So that's one of the main perks when you try to involve yourself, put yourself out there in the market and say like, I have involved in this activity, I have involved in this volunteering punya orang kata activities, so that you are increasing your market value. So orang pun akan notice, oh this guy is actually good. But I'm concerning that other firms might take him. I might as well approach him and then secure him to be in my firm. So macam tu. So for my application dekat PWC, I go through like a phone screening. That's the phase 1 lah. Phase 1 adalah phone screening. So the phone screening ni basically diorang akan tanya a bit of like macam a leisure punya interview. Dia akan tanya you macam what is your biggest achievement in conducting Apex? What is your technique in time management apa benda semua. So basically they are sharing with they want to get to know you more before they jump into the main interviewing session lah. So basically the phone screening will take about like 30 minutes lah, 30 minutes plus for me. So dia akan tanya what do you know about audit, what do you want to join audit, something like that. And then phase 2, which is dalam tempo HR reach me about like 2 to 3 weeks after that, adalah macam personality test. So personality test ni kalau cakap PWC, there's no right or wrong answer. It's just a matter of the PWC HR wants to know what kind of personality ataupun what kind of like the way you will be working dekat dalam PWC. Whether you are jenis yang apa orang kata ada team spirit tinggi, ataupun you ni jenis yang perfectionist, ataupun you jenis yang pandai time management. So this is just a further analysis sahaja. Yang tu tak ada apa-apa effect dalam you punya orang kata apa assessment. Tapi assessment sebenarnya adalah pada final interview. So in terms of interviewing ni, I think the best advice that I can give for you guys if you guys want to enter interviewing when you guys apply for job nanti, of course you guys need to know what you guys are applying for. That is the main thing. If you guys apply for audit, you guys need to know about what audit is, what is the audit process, what are the procedures bila you nak test sekian, what are the terms. Sebab itu adalah perkara-perkara yang my interviewer ask me. Dia tanya pasal audit punya terminologies. Lepas tu dia tanya macam mana you handle teamwork, apa benda semua tu. So, and sebenarnya memang orang kata having an ACCA qualification is good already. It's good already. When you study 3.5 years and you determine that you have good result and whatnot, benda tu cukup. Tapi because I get to borak balik dengan my interviewer. When I got into PWC, I meet my interviewer again in my office. Sajalah borak-borak kan apa benda semua. And sebenarnya there is a really high demand for soft skill. soft skill and also technical skills yang diperlukan dalam your respective courses, especially accounting ataupun audit lah. So, Microsoft Excel will basically be your best friend when you masuk kerja. So that's why dalam portfolio ataupun dalam resume CV you can identify whether you have one of those analytical skills ataupun Microsoft Excel skill. Lagi satu adalah communication. Communication lagi-lagi dekat dalam bidang audit ni, it's very important because you are communicating not only with your colleague of similar roles, maknanya macam contohnya I audit associate, dia pun audit associate, tapi you are also communicating with your client, your superiors, your manager. So semua tu penting, and communication tu what makes the final work, orang kata your final deliverables is lah. Maknanya bila you communicate about a certain job, that is going to be your product. Communication is part of your product lah, is what I'm trying to say. So that's why I said in the beginning, there's only so much thing that you can learn outside of the classroom tau. Because ACA of course dah merangkumi segala perkara yang macam taxation ataupun financial management, performance management, audit and whatnot. Tapi like those soft skills kat mana lagi you nak develop? So that's why I joined this sort of extracurricular stuff in the first place, so that I can be ready with myself whenever like they are in demand of those sort of skills, kita ada untuk provide. So that's like one of the main reasons I joined into Apex and whatnot. Tapi that is basically the job hunting process lah. So like I said, my experience might differ from you guys, but this just goes to show how much of my my heavy involvement with things outside of my classroom really benefited in terms of like my networking and my job opportunities. So it's better for you guys to like start early, whether you guys want to join any NGO ke ataupun you guys want to join Apex pun boleh. Sebenarnya banyak lagi club persatuan dekat UiTM, ada dekat UiTM, you guys just need to explore. Tapi apa-apa pun study nombor satu, jangan tertinggal your study. Make sure your study result tu okay, lepas tu dia complement with all of your other extracurricular stuff. Itu memang dah cantik dah, memang full package. Yeah, that's all from me.
Oh, thank you so much. That is truly inspiring because you clearly explained that dengan ACCA ni banyak opportunities yang insyaAllah boleh datang. So that means that you have to, when you do your ACCA, you have to look at the long term goal that you want to get. So probably all the study nights, all that exam stress to gain good results for your ACCA will insyaAllah pay off with all of the opportunities that come with your ACCA qualification. So if I can just summarize what you said, I like a lot of points that you mentioned about the importance of networking, being involved in a lot of activities outside the class. And I think that you give quite a lot of good tips to all of our participants today when they want to go for their future careers. Like you give the tips about LinkedIn, about the process of interviewing, and the importance of having variety of skills, right? Like you said, soft skills, technical skills, analytical skills, being able to handle pressure. These are things that it won't come in a day. It has to be developed throughout the years of your studies and being prepared for the working environment later. And I like the final part that you gave just now. Macam mana pun, study tetap nombor satu. That's very,
I
very
nampak my lecturer semua thumbs up, emoji.
yeah, everybody's like so like sangat last that suka dengan jawapan you. So banyak lecturer dah, dia participants, if you see a lot of the emojis pun datang juga daripada lecturer kita hari ni yang sangatlah gembira dengar ayat-ayat dan inspirasi daripada Rif hari ni. So thank you so much Rif. Thank you so much. Alright, Rif. Thank you so much, Rif, for sharing your journey so openly. I wish that we had more time with you to talk with you, and we truly enjoyed your sharing session, and very importantly, the energy that you gave throughout the session. So I'm sure that all of our participants today also enjoyed hearing your journey from your ITM to leading Apex to now with PwC and such. So I hope everyone here knows now that ACCA is not just about passing exams, but it's also about building your skills, your confidence, your leadership, and opening opportunities and even globally. All right, Rif. So we wish you all the best in your career ahead. Such a bright future, inshallah, for you. So everyone, dear participants, let's give Rif Daris a big virtual round of applause, everyone. Well done, Rif. So Rif, tapi jangan pergi lagi because towards the end of our session, we will have the Q&A with you sekali. So dear participants, if you have any questions that you want to address to Riff, please share dekat the chat box and we will address it during the Q&A session with all of our speakers today. All right. So thank you so much, Rick. Now, dear participants, please stay to the end of the event because you might be some of our lucky draw winners because we'll be giving away free BSN PIN numbers. And also, very exciting, we will also give Zeus coffee vouchers worth 30 ringgit each. So don't go anywhere. All right. Stay to the end. Okay, everyone. So now, let me share my screen for a while. Okay, dear participants, now we are at another exciting part of our event. We have two of our UITM's brightest stars, our ACCA prize winners. Together with us today, we have Danny Zafran Bazam and also Nurul Hana Sulaiman, who will share how they have achieved world-class success. And trust me, you definitely do not want to miss this session. All right. So here with us today, our pride and joy who have already achieved and shine on a global stage. Right. Before we continue, just a quick session, just a little quiz, like what Madam Melissa shared during her session. She explained what is a prize winner. So what do you think is a prize winner? You can share on this on the chat. What is a prize winner? Okay. All right. So prize winner, dear participants, it means that that student had achieved the highest marks in the paper, whether in Malaysia or even globally. And today we have two of those achievers. All right. So dear participants, feel free to type in the chat what do you want to hear more from our prize winners, such as study tips, exam techniques, motivation, and such. So you please do not miss out on this opportunity. Yes, thank you, Arnira Malik. But definitely true. Prize winner means highest mark in the world or in the country. Well done. Well done. Okay, so joining us today is Dennis Zafran Bazam, a UITM ACCA alumnus who is now an audit associate at EY Malaysia. A young lad from Selangor, Danish is not only a Malaysian prize winner, but he's also a global achiever. Top affiliate for ACCA, ranked third in Malaysia and 14th in the world. He was also the Malaysian prize winner in performance management, ranked first in Malaysia and third in the world. And for advanced financial management, ranked first in Malaysia and second in the world. Wow, truly an outstanding record of excellence. All right, so alongside Danish, we have Nurul Hana Sulaiman, currently pursuing her strategic papers at UITM. Hana is a young lady that has achieved something extraordinary as well. She was the Malaysian prize winner in financial management, ranked first in Malaysia and 10th in the world. Hannah's success proves that UITM students can achieve world-class recognition. She is from Sarawak and continues to inspire many students with her dedication. So without further ado, let's welcome Danish and Hannah to share their stories with us. All right, so a big round of applause, everyone, and a very warm welcome to both of you. All right, so how are you, Danish and Hannah? How are you doing this morning?
Alhamdulillah, doing very good today.
Okay, all right, Danish. So I can see you. What about Hannah? Is Hannah here?
Yeah, I'm here. Great. Everything's great.
Okay. Okay, all right, good. So nice to have both of you for our session today. All right, so we are excited to hear about your journey and to share so that you can share especially study tips and motivation for all of our participants today. All right, so let's go straight to our question here, Danish and Hannah. All right, so let's start from the beginning. An important question, which all of our participants would like to know. So to both of you, Danish and Hannah, why did you decide at the beginning to pursue ACCA? And why did you choose UITM as the place to study? All right, so we can start with Danish, then we follow up by Hannah.
Yeah, can. Okay, so the reason I chose accounting and even ACCA is because of my uncle actually. Because back then in SPM time, I was still deciding what my best path after SPM would be. And after discussion with my uncle, I think accounting was the best fit for me because I was one to like math I took pure science actually back in school, so that's why I chose. I was like thinking, what's the best path? So I chose accounting in the end. And for me, I applied through UPU to get into diploma UiTM first, and then that was a pathway to ACCA. So actually, and then I learned that UiTM is a very good place to study accounting, and that's why I just decided, yes, this is the best place to be.
Okay, thank you so much, Danish. What about you, Hannah?
Oh yeah, so actually I have known about ACCA since school year. I'm also a pure student science, so I haven't had any knowledge about accounting. But even during my time, it was the ACCA was a very popular qualifications. It was well known for its great career opportunity. So even then, I actually what I say ACCA is actually one of the courses that I considered to take. So instead of going straight into ACCA, I actually took a foundation in science first. And then after that, I've decided to pursue ACCA at UiTM. And actually, I choose UiTM because even among my families, most of them graduate from UiTM. And UiTM, as mentioned before, it has a platinum status, approved learning partners. So that's kind of like a plus point that's kind of like appeal to me. So alhamdulillah, I decided to apply and I was given the opportunity to study here. Yeah.
Yeah, Alhamdulillah. Thank you so much for your sharing there. So, from what you both shared, there are people who actually guided and inspired you to take up this accounting journey, and both of you do have a similarity there, where both of you took pure science, right? During your school days, you were both pure science. So, dear participants, don't worry if you are from pure science. Accounting is still a choice that you can pursue as long as you meet the requirement. All right. So doesn't mean that if you didn't take accounting during your SPM, it doesn't mean that you cannot take accounting. Now, actually, not just both of you have that similarity. Actually, with me as well, because I was also a pure science student, so I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah. So, Alhamdulillah, the accounting course worked very well for both of you. That you achieved global success, which we want to know more about that, Danish and Hannah. All right. So I think this is a question that all of us want to know. Okay, considering that you are prize winners who have gained such global success, what motivated both of you to aim so high in your ECCA studies? Was it personal ambition? Was it encouragement from your lecturers? Or maybe was it like a personal drive that that you want to prove that you are able to not just pass your paper but earn highest marks for that paper in Malaysia and also ranked in the world as well. Okay, who would like to start? Okay, maybe we start with Danish again, then we start with Hannah.
Okay, can. Okay. So for me, I aim for high achievement in ACCA for I think two reasons. One is of course personal ambition. I think like it's always part of me that I want to try to get the highest marks as possible. You know, like humanly possible, as in like my possibility. And another thing is also, during my time in studying, like so many people like believed in me. There's so many people put faith in me, and also studying in ACCA in UiTM is a privilege. So I want to be able to use that privilege the best way possible by showing that I basically, what do you call it, in a way deserve it. I wouldn't say that I deserve it, but I that's the best way I can describe it.
Okay, thank you, Danish. What about you, Hannah? What motivated you?
So actually, if just to start, actually, ACCA was when I first started ACCA. It was truly something new. I've never learned it before, and I don't have any basic knowledge about it. So when I first started, definitely it feels slightly different and overwhelmed. Like accounting is like something different. I've never done it before. So when I first started ACCA at UiTM, I found that the lectures have been very helpful. So like those are the things that I feel like I should uh, take the advantage of the great support system that I have, and definitely also along the support of my parents. I feel like if there's anything that I could do, I should definitely try my best to put effort into my studies just to make my parents proud. Of course, they're always happy with whatever that I do, but it was just some kind of reward that I want to give to them. Yeah.
All right, thank you so much, Danish and Hannah. So it shows that what I can hear from both of you, what you mentioned clearly was that you had the right mindset lah, basically. Okay, whether because you want to, how to say, prove to the people who have faith in you and the people who have supported you that you can do well with your ACCA journey and with your exam results. All right, so that is definitely inspiring. So with the right mindset and with the right motivation, that's where success can be achieved, inshallah. All right. And so I hope another thing that I would like to say, like I do hope both of you know that both of you have been such an inspiration to a lot of students. Like when okay, yeah, we have a lecturer here that gives you a virtual applause. Yeah, you have been such an inspiration. Like when I talk to, for example, as a lecturer at the faculty, when I talk to students or my advisees, they say that I want to be just as good as Danish and Hannah. Like they can achieve such good results. I want to be as good as them. So truly, you have also inspired a lot of people with that. So thank you so much. Right. So another thing that we also have to talk about very importantly, and this is also a question from the survey that we got from the Google form. Many want to know because both of you didn't just pass, you became prize winners. So what they want to know is that how you prepare for the exam. Like how did you prepare? What was do you have any like special technique like is different compared to a normal study technique? Like, is it like time management, specific exam techniques, or probably if you can share any special habits that you do that maybe might be different that caused or made a difference in your results to achieve the highest marks? Okay, Danish?
Okay, can. Okay, so I think like my study habit, there's like a few stages, of course. The first stage is the class stage. So what what I do in class is I usually try to sit in front, pay attention, of course, and if I have any questions, I ask. Because if I don't ask, then I don't know the answer. I wouldn't have anyone to ask the questions to. Uh, and the other sources, of course, either my friends or the internet, which sometimes is not exactly what was taught in class, so it might be different. And then after class, what I would do back then was I would open a Word file, and then I just type in whatever notes I can get from the apa ni, text, from the study text. So I just type, and make it shorter compared to the study text, so that when I do a revision, I can just revise through my notes. I don't have to open the study text unless I want to top up any like knowledge that I feel is incomplete. And then finally, the final stage is the exam stage. Like say not no sorry, the exam prep stage. So what I do then after I read through the notes is I would open the test sheet site. I don't know if it's still the same. I hope it's the same. But basically, the ACCA provides a mock exam site, so you can practice past year questions on there, and then you do the questions. I do it like 3 hours so that I follow the actual timing, and then once I'm done, I mark it myself so that at the very least, even if I don't like mark exactly how examiners would mark, I would get a feel of what they expect for each question that they are asking. And then of course, like, you have to study. You have to study. Start studying early, because studying late, you'll definitely feel the pressure on yourself. So I think that's all.
All right, thank you so much, Danny. If I can just summarize a bit what you said. I like the fact that you mentioned that you try to sit in front. Wow, that is a thing that any lecturer would like, or to have students who willingly want to sit in front. Kadang-kadang kita kena paksa yang belakang tu ke depan kan. Tapi you voluntarily nak ke depan tu, that is a good attitude there. Alright, so dear participants, Danish did share quite good techniques here to ask questions. That means do not leave things how to say unanswered, or something questions that you have with do not leave it to the last minute basically. Like if there's something that you don't understand, terus tanya. Your lecturers are there, even your friends can also help, like have the discussion. Because if you leave it to the last minute, then like what Danish kata, nanti stress, nanti exam pressure kan. So get that clear, and he gave us summary notes. That's a good point. Okay, summarize the notes, because what I can see from what you mentioned kan, Danish, is a lot about being consistent. Betul tak, Danish? It's about being consistent. Do not leave things to the last minute. You have to start early. Sebab kalau you consistent kan, the skills too are developed throughout time. And by towards the exam day, inshallah, you will be more well prepared. And by the way, Danish, you mentioned this now about test stage. We call it now it's similar, but it's a CBE practice platform. Yeah, same thing. Okay, where past exams can be accessed through the CBE platform. So you get to experience the CBE experience through the practice platform. So yes, good tip there to practice at the CBE practice platform. Thank you, Danish. All right, Hannah, what about you? What exam techniques do you have that we can share with the participants today?
Okay, so personally for me, I actually have for the exam, I actually have two period, which is the normal time during the class and also and everything. But there's also another period for the exam preparation time. So for the normal time, for the normal period, usually I will try my best to stay focused during the class, just to get the gist of whatever the syllabus is all about. Because for me, it will be a lot more easier for you to revise if you try to just get the gist of the things that your lecturers are trying to teach you, even if you can't understand fully during the classes. And then I will definitely try every single exercise that our lecturers give. It will be a good point to try to do the exercise on your own first. And then usually for me, I will use the exercise given by my lecturers as a way to practice, as a way to understand the topic better, and also as a way to familiarize myself with the exam format. So like those are during the normal time. For if let's say it's nearing the exam, the final exam, so those are the time where I will prioritize the areas or certain topics that I found very challenging or things that I think I need to put extra focus on. So because at UATM, we were given the one study week, like a personal time for us to study on our own. So those are the time that I will definitely I prioritize the areas that I feel like I haven't had enough cover on it, or I feel like I'm still very confused about it. So, and if I have more time, then I will come back to other topics that I feel like I need to cover. So yeah, I think that's my way.
Okay, thank you so much, Hannah. So similar to Danish in a way that you are also consistent. Okay, it seems that you are consistent because when you study early on, kan, so towards the end, near to the exam, you can prioritize. You can prioritize topics that you find challenging and that you can focus on, and that gives some sort of ease lah untuk you sebelum masuk exam lab. So another tip dear participants, like what Hannah shared just now, adalah untuk practice banyak soalan. Sebab dengan ECCA ni kan, dia bukan setakat knowing the textbook and having the knowledge of the syllabus saja. Having that is the starting point, but what you need further adalah untuk apply it kepada soalan. So doing a lot of practice, like what Danish mentioned dekat practice platform, like what Hannah kata, buat soalan-soalan yang lecturer minta, insyaAllah akan dipermudahkan untuk journey ECCA, insyaAllah. Right, so we have a bit more time for a few more questions. So I have a personal question for Danish and I have a personal question for Hannah. So we'll start with the personal question for Danish first. All right, so Danish, as someone who has already graduated and now you are working at EY, one of the big four, how did ACCA and UITM prepare you for the transition into the professional world?
Okay. Okay. Bismillah. So basically, I think like studying ACCA and at UITM itself is very helpful because one, you learn the technical knowledge. Of course, ACCA teaches all the technical knowledge that you would like need. Maybe you won't be able to apply it instantly, but at the very least, you have it there. And then during working, I would have to ask like questions from my seniors just to have understanding. Oh, how should I apply this technical knowledge that I learned during ACCA? And another thing is, of course, the ACCA itself. It gives you an attitude of teaching, learning. Sorry, attitude of learning. So during work, you will have to learn a lot. So you have to be ready to be able to take that knowledge. And ACCA helps you have the mindset. Okay, I need to learn this, learn this, learn this. And finally, I think what was it? Yeah. It's learning itself. I think maybe that's all. Sorry, thank you.
Okay. Yeah, thank you so much, Dennis. So, I mean, it shows like the UITM punya ACCA pathway kan. It doesn't, I mean, it helps students to excel in exam, but it allows you to get ready for the working environment. Like you said, kan, is a starting point kan, yang you kata tadi ada the technical knowledge from ECCA. After that, it takes time for you to apply, but it probably helps make it easier for you to apply it later. And if anything, can always ask and learn. Alright, so ECCA qualification ni, dear participants, the way the syllabus have been developed with the move to the computer-based exam and such is all actually to make you well prepared for the modern environment in today's workplace. So you when you learn the syllabus nanti, insyaAllah you akan faham how it actually helps you probably to transition into the working place. So thank you so much, Danish, for your sharing. Okay, one last question to Hannah, which to Hannah. So Hannah, you're still pursuing your strategic papers right now, right? So dear participants, Hannah is our current student now, pursuing her strategic papers. So Hannah, what is it like balancing your studies with student life at UiTM? And how do you continue that momentum to gain good and global success for your strategic papers group?
Okay, so actually for me, I think it's all about mindset. Like whenever I think about it, I usually try not to feel too pressure about the exam. I try to put study as just a part of my normal routine so that I won't feel too pressure about preparing for the exam. So like let's say as I mentioned early during the normal time before the exam preparation, I will usually try to I mentioned early, I will try to do the exercises. So I try my best to avoid feeling too pressure in trying to understand everything, to get everything like I have to understand everything before the exam. Like I try my best to do the practice, and if there's anything that I don't understand, I will definitely get clarification from my lecturers. And personally, for me, if you put study as just part of your normal routine, you won't feel too much changes in your normal life. Like, let's say if during the normal class week, I would usually try my best to study, put some 1 or 2 hours to study at the night, but definitely as well, you need to put some time to rest as well, because I don't think that as an SCCA student, as Madam I mentioned earlier as well, SCCA is all about consistency. You don't really have to study all the time. You definitely should put some time to rest, to allow yourself to digest whatever information that you have learned, to avoid feeling too overwhelmed. So those are the way that I try to balance between study and my normal life. I try to do both, put time equally for both studying as well as having me time or resting, spending time with my families. So I think if you put your mindset that study is just part of your normal routine, you won't feel too pressure. But definitely, what I did is that during the study week, I would definitely put more effort, try to push through it for the final exam. And yeah, I think that's what I did.
Oh, thank you so much, Hannah. Yes, definitely. Having what you mentioned just now was very true. Like for you to take up an exam, right, especially an ECC exam, it's about having the right mindset to avoid feeling too pressured. And I like your answer just now where you mentioned about getting that balance. Because to do well in ECCA, it doesn't mean studying 24/7. Sebab kita manusia bukan robot, kan? Betul? Alright, so sebagai manusia pun kita perlu balance kan benda tu. Kita kena balance our personal life and as well as our study time. And dear participants, there are ways for you to gain that balance, such as we can relate with what Reef mentioned just now at our second session just now. He said that there are many different student activities that you can join, that you can network, that you can gain friendships, develop your soft skills, because when you go to the workplace, it's not just about what you know technically. Betul? Itu penting, itu starting point. But being able to present in front, being able to apply your knowledge, being able to deliver your analytical skills and soft skills, that is something that you can learn and develop further. All right. So thank you so much, Dennis and Hannah. I just have one last question for both of you before we move to the Q&A session. Okay. Word of encouragement to all of our participants here today who also look up to both of you as part of our pride and joy of your ITM. If you can speak directly to all of our SPM students or our diploma degree students who are here today, who want to, who are inspired by you today, what would you say to encourage them to choose ACCA and study at UITM?
Should I
Uh,
start?
yeah,
Okay.
Hannah. Yeah, you can.
So for people who are for students who are considering to taking a CCA at UITM, I would definitely welcome you here. I feel like UITM is a very great place for you to pursue your ACCA. They have great support systems. We have a very conducive environment, and I'm pretty sure everyone is aware ACCA itself is a very globally recognized qualification. So definitely, if you have enough patience, if you are interested in accounting, definitely pursue ACCA at UITM, inshallah. And I would like to say to everyone, in choosing your path, don't feel too pressured in uh, like you only have don't put your mindset in thinking that you could only choose one path. Like ACCA is also one of the qualifications that are, I think, allows you to have a great career opportunity. So definitely consider that.
Okay, thank you so much, Hannah. What about you, Danish?
I say that, of course, when I first joined accounting, I thought it was difficult, but I think I also had the mindset that if you want to be something great, if you want to do something great, it will never be easy. So you have to have the mind, you have to prepare your mentality that you are going to go through something difficult to become great. That's all.
Okay, thank you so much, Danish. Well done. Thank you so much for your time with us today, Danish and Hannah, for sharing your journey with us. And your stories really prove to UITMs, not just UITM students, but also to our future students, inshallah, here with us today, that it is possible to actually achieve world-class success. Like what you mentioned, to have the right mindset with the right support, determination to go the extra mile. It is not impossible, definitely. So everyone, dear participants, let's give a big round of applause, virtual round of applause to both our prize winners today. Alright, so semua bilik ni pun kita semua tepuk untuk both of you. Okay. Alright, so thank you so much, Danish and Hannah. Alright, so dear participants, these two are UITM's Pride and Joy. So if you have any questions for them, please drop it on the chat and we will address them. Okay, all of the questions, alright? Okay, so now let's move on to the next part of our session. Let me share my screen. Alright, dear participants. Alright, time flies by really fast bila kita dah dengar such valuable insights from Madam Melissa to Rif Daris to Danish to Hannah. All of our speakers have done so well, have delivered what they need for to give you today to help you decide what is the future path that you want and whether it's ACCA is the journey for you. So believe it or not, we are almost at the end of today's event, the Q&A session. All right, so we'll bring back all of our speakers today. So Madam Melissa Mamyudi, Rif Daris, Dennis Zafran, Nurul Hana, as well as our coordinator, Dr. Hazina Hassan. Okay, so may I invite all of our speakers to turn on your cameras so that our participants can see you once again, right? Okay, so let me just look at the summary of the questions that we can ask for today. Okay, all right. So do give me a bit of a bit of time just to for me to look at the summary of questions. Yeah. All right. So in the meantime, dear participants, please you can still continue to share your questions on the chat. All right, and we will address them shortly. Yeah. All right. So let me address one of the questions here. One of the questions is from Arnira Malik. When I start studying early, at the end near to the exam date, I'll forget something, which makes me nervous and makes me feel I forget everything. May I know how to handle this? Okay. So maybe this question we can give to our prize winners, Danish and Hannah. Probably you can address this question. All right, you can open your mic.
Okay. For me, if how do you say this now? Because sometimes I also feel like if I don't study enough, I would feel like I would sometimes forget whatever that I've studied before. Um, I don't really make my own notes. Like I don't make personal notes. But what I could say is that if it helps you, if let's say you think that whatever that you've studied before, there's chances that you will forget about it at the end of the nearing the final exam, then most probably you should do a very short, like just keywords of the things that you've studied, just to freshen back your mind about the things that you have learned before. And before the final exam, I mean, before you're sitting for the final exam, definitely you still have chances to study. So let's say if you open it and you saw that you think you forgot about it, then you can definitely look back into your notes or whatever it is, like try to recall back, but don't feel too pressure into thinking that if you can't remember it at the near exam, then definitely you will not be able to do well in the exam, because sometimes when you try to recall back whatever you have studied, you might not remember at the time, but inshallah, may Allah is our genie, during the exam it will definitely come back to you. That's what I think, because sometimes I also tends to feel nervous that I would forget whatever that I've studied in the early semester, but yeah, inshallah, that's what I did.
Okay, thank you so much, Hannah. Great tips there. Inshallah, our participant hope you can get some inspiration there on how to deal with that issue. What about Danish? Is there anything you would like to add from that answer?
Okay, so I think like Hannah's tip is very good. Is just make notes. Anything that you feel like you will forget, make keywords. Put it on the side. Maybe like a specific word file. You can just compile of everything that you think you forget, so that you can read like beforehand. And another thing is that I also forget a lot of things. I feel, and it's nothing to worry about. You already consistently studied from the start to finish, kan? So maybe it's muscle memory that make it come back, or even like if like on the day itself you feel you forget an answer. Don't worry. You maybe lose 2 marks, but do not sacrifice every other mark, because the every other mark is still there for you to take. So I think,
Yeah, true,
and
true.
yeah, and then just maybe like go through it again, think of what you can, and then just answer. It's okay. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Yeah, true, true. Just do your best, and probably yang terlupa tu sikit je, so you might lose sikit je markah. Tapi if you had prepared earlier, then you would have prepared for most of the content that you're supposed to provide in the exam. So thank you so much, Hannah and Danish. I have a question here for Reef. Okay, Reef. I hope you can address this question here. So since ACCA is recognized worldwide, did you ever think about working overseas? And do you see ACCA as giving you that option to work overseas? Okay, Faith?
Yeah, actually, like I said in the beginning, I think our speaker, Madam Mel, and also our prize winners also mentioned this before. ACCA is once again a globally recognized qualification, and tipu lah if I never say I never imagined myself want to work overseas. So yeah, I do, and I don't have any country in specific in terms of like where's like the economic wise is better or whatnot. I just think of any country that is very eye catching for me. So for me right now, I'm always attracted to New Zealand for their scenery and nature there. Not because I want to work there, but I want to like have something to live there. So that's what I'm trying to say. But one thing that should be taken note is that different firms, they have different ways on how you guys want to apply for overseas job. Sure, ACCA is definitely will assist you in terms of you want to apply for international jobs, meaning outside of Malaysia. But you guys need to know the procedures for each firm lah. For example, PwC, our way is that we don't actually have like a secondment ataupun like you are directly transferred to another country. No, you have to make like a separate job application over there. Tapi there will be, boleh lah kita nak buat referral to our PwC colleagues ke, or our past managers that we want to put referral on. Kejap, sorry kejap Sorry, saya kata saya kat luar. Okay, so
Sama-sama, no problem.
yeah. So basically what I mentioned just now, memang ACCA memang akan membantu, tapi you guys just need to know from your firm dekat mana you guys boleh apply benda ni. Tapi when you put your ACCA certificate in the application, they will definitely keep an eye on you, especially if you have already got working experience and whatnot lah. Okay.
Okay, thank you so much, Riz. So definitely from what Riz shared tu, ACCA tu dia adalah the passport lah untuk you probably be able to work globally. But again, there are, how to say, there is one part of part of your decision, but choosing appropriate country to work at and such, that will be something that you need to evaluate further lah based on what you want to gain from the job opportunity. But yes, ACCA, like what Riz mentioned, is a passport. Okay, for you to be able to work globally. Inshallah, Arif has a personal goal there. Inshallah, probably we'll hear soon good news. One day, maybe later, maybe probably at New Zealand. Okay. Okay, so thank you so much, Arif. Okay, so we have a question here for our speaker, main speaker, Madam Melissa. Madam Melissa, there's a participant here who wants to know more about the aptitude test. And she wants to know what is the aptitude test and how will it be conducted and a bit of details there. Okay, Madam Melissa?
Okay, so the aptitude test, I think now we have moved the aptitude test to an online platform, okay, whereby before you come to the physical interview, you will perform the aptitude test first, and if you're successful, we will call you for the physical interview. Okay, so basically apa yang kita akan tanya masa aptitude test tu are questions such as some accounting questions perhaps, some general knowledge questions. So basically it's questions that would test your aptitude, okay, macam you punya level kepandaian lah, okay, macam itulah, okay. And then after you succeed in the aptitude test, only then we will call you for interview. Okay, so the interview session, certain sittings ataupun certain semesters we do it physically, tapi ada macam the previous round we did it online. Okay, so it all depends on the location of the applicants. For example, because we have to take into consideration macam some of our applicants are from very remote parts of Malaysia, so it's quite difficult for them to come for the physical interview and such. Okay, so we will adopt it from time to time. Okay, but yes, you are required to pass the aptitude test first, only then we will move on to the interview process. Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much, Madam Lisa, for that clarification. So I hope it's clear now with regards to the aptitude test. All right, so we have another question here that probably we can address to our coordinator, Dr. Hazlina. Okay, Dr. Hazel. There's a question here that from one of our participants. If I already have another sponsorship, but then I want to join UiTM, boleh ke?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, boleh dengar.
Okay. Assalamualaikum. Very good afternoon. Right. You already have sponsorship, then you want to continue ACCA with us. All right. I think you have to look at your sponsorship. All right, the requirement first. Okay. Some of the funders or scholars organization, they actually you cannot have two organizations, right? So you have to give me specific lah. Alright, maybe you can go detail into, you can ask in our WhatsApp group. Okay, virtual open day WhatsApp group, we have the WhatsApp group. Okay, you can ask me personally, right? Okay, thank you.
Right. Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Hazlina. Okay, so we have a question here for Rif. Okay, Rif, we have two questions for you, and probably for okay, I'll ask this question first. Okay, do you have any intention to try to work at Bank Negara? Because one of our participants here, the end goal is to work at Bank Negara. Do you have any goals of working at Bank Negara? Rif.
Menarik. Actually, I have a friend or two that recommends Bank Negara to me. Okay, so here's my answer for this lah. I think for most people, when we go into ACCA, this is the typical but at the same time actually very helpful route for you to grow yourself, and if you want to survive in the workforce longer lah. At the same time, you get to live your passion of whatever you want to do with the ACCA. So how I did is that how I plan. We talk about the bank negara kejap lagi. But basically, my first take when after I graduate, memang biasanya people akan stay in the audit firm for at least 3 years because they want to get the chartered accountant title and then apply dekat MIA, and they want to be an ACCA member. In order to be an ACCA member, you need to have 3 years minimum dalam any of the approved firms, if I'm not mistaken, and PwC is one of it. So bila contoh dia, at least for my plan, when I settled my 3 years, hopefully I can settle 3 years lah, tak ada yang caw awal. Tapi like for after I finish my 3 years and then I go to commercial, so that is where you can go to any place you want because like it or not, there are so many corporations or firms out there that requires accountants ataupun financial analysts, data analysts and whatnot, financial management and whatnot. Tapi in terms of bank negara, dia macam mana because initially for information kan ACCA kan ada option papers. I'm not those yang intrigued with the financial instrument part. Bukan it's just a matter of I macam kurang minat compared to audit and also performance management lah, I think, and also perkara-perkara yang highly regulated like financial reporting. So that's probably my take lah. Tapi you should, kalau you memang betul minat dalam bank negara and also the prospects of what bank negara does, please go ahead. Like seriously, apa-apa macam I cakap tadi, follow your interest. Follow your interest, jangan ikut orang. Sebab I faham yang macam some people there are peers yang macam kata macam okay, this firm offer so many benefits to you and whatnot. Tapi kalau macam to be honest, kalau I lah, macam I tak boleh nak let go of my tak boleh nak buka minat untuk benda tu, I tak boleh nak have that satisfaction in my work. So that's my take lah. And for information, currently I plan when I finish audit, I want to venture into automotive. Automotive meaning like car manufacturing and whatnot. Whether that's a local, domestic ataupun intercontinental brand, yang tu kita tengok nak kat mana nanti Tuhan susunkan. Tapi that's basically my plan lah. So just follow your plan, alright? Apa-apa pun jangan lupa make sure to follow your interest lah, jangan ikut orang. If you want to go to bank negara, go ahead. Because I heard pun macam bank negara quite lucrative jugalah. Yeah, okay, that's my take. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Rick, for your view and your elaboration on that point. Hopefully our participants get an inspiration and as well as an answer to your explanation. All right, so next question. So we'll move on to the next question. Let me see here. Okay, so there's one participant here who wants to know, Hannah, what optional strategic papers that you are currently pursuing? And maybe you can tell the reason why you chose that option paper.
For last semester, I actually did SBR as well as FM, which is the Advanced Financial Management. Actually, I chose to do the Advanced Financial Management even before I got the fundamental level, the financial management paper result. So actually, I've chosen to take the Advanced Financial Management because I feel like when I'm while studying for that FM paper, the financial management, the fundamental level, I feel like I don't know, it must have been some sort of, I feel like I could do, inshallah, if Allah wills it, I will be able to do advanced financial management. I think that's the reason why I did it. I feel like while studying for the financial management, I feel advanced financial management might be doable for me. That's what I think. For upcoming semester, I think I choose SBL, the Strategic Business Leadership, as well as AAA, the Advanced Audit Assurance.
All right, thank you so much, Hannah, for sharing the reason why you chose those optional papers. Hopefully it can give a bit of guidance to some of our participants here who are probably going to take strategic papers soon and are considering what are the option papers that will be best fit for them. Okay, all right, so we have a question here for Danish. All right, Danish, there's a question from one of our participants here that in a world where financial data is increasingly driven by AI and predictive analytics, how can future accountants maintain strategic value and ethical responsibilities? What do you think about that, Danish?
It's very complex, that's one thing. And also, of course, humans versus AI. Sometimes people can manufacture data. Of course, humans can also manufacture data, but it's helpful to have the human side because humans have emotions. Humans can make judgment. If you want to use AI will learn from the previous judgments. That is not necessarily right already. Sometimes humans can learn. Humans can learn. AI also, of course, can learn also, but humans have another thing. It's perception. Yeah. So like the way humans see, the way robots see is different. The way AI sees data. So I think like humans will always still be needed. Of course, because humans are the ones that design AI also can.
All right, very good answer there, Danish. Thank you so much. Yeah, in the end of the day, we still need human beings, right? Especially I think what's different from human beings and robots is that we have that emotional intelligence, right? Okay, we have that human emotion that probably would be needed for certain specific tasks, probably in the job life. All right. So thank you so much, Danish. So we have a question here. Sorry, hold on, eh? Let me see. All right, so sorry. Okay, so maybe probably due to time, unfortunately, we can address one more question. Okay, so there is one participant here who is currently an ACCA student in UITM. How to be an ACCA lecturer? Like, what master should I apply? How many years working experience in ACCA? Probably we can address this to our coordinator, Dr. Hazlina. Dr. Hazel.
Okay. All right. So thank you for the questions. Right. Okay. If you are currently doing MCCA, okay, if you want to pursue okay, to become one of the lecturer, all right, if in your ITM, you must have masters and also PhD. Okay. So master, maybe you can choose. We have a master in strategic management accounting. Okay. For the master for strategic management accounting, okay, we have embedded SEMA program. All right, so you can get two qualification, masters and also SEMA. Okay, professional qualification. After that, you can straight away apply for become lecturer, no need PhD. Okay, but then if you want to, you want to obtain just a master by research and also master by coursework. Okay, you have to pursue PhD first, then only you can apply for become a lecturer here in UiTM. Okay, so perhaps okay, I'm answering your question, right? Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Hazel, for the insights with regards to that question. All right, so dear participants, is towards the end of our event. Unfortunately, we're not able to answer more questions. But however, if you feel that your questions have not been answered, you can still contact our faculty and you can address your questions directly to our coordinators at the faculty. Inshallah, we will help you further. All right, so dear participants, let's give another big virtual round of applause. Thank you so much to all of our speakers today for all of the thoughtful answers and for also to all of you, all of our participants here for all of your engaging questions as well. So a big thank you again to Madam Melissa Mamyudi, Rif Darish, Danish, as well as Hannah, and also our coordinator, Dr. Hazlina. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for all of the participants. Okay, so before we close, please don't go yet. We have a big announcement here that all of you might be waiting for, which is our lucky draw announcement. All right. So dear participants, today we have a special prize to give away to our lucky participants. All right, so let me highlight to you that there will be 5 participants who will receive free BSN PIN numbers, and there will be 3 participants who will receive Zeus coffee vouchers worth 30 ringgit each. All right, so we are collecting the details of the winners. So let me share my screen here. Hold on. So I'll be announcing the winners. Stay tuned. Okay, so the winners are, all right, if you can see from the screen, we already have the details of all our winners. So well done, congratulations. I wish I can do a drum roll just now, but I was it's virtual. So well done. So the winners of our BSN PIN numbers, you can refer to the screen. First of all, we have Alif Najmi Rusdin. Dr. Shafina Sobihana Sharifuddin, Ahmad Rushaidi, Muhammad Asri Mat Daud, and Madiha Aminuddin BSN PIN numbers. So for you to redeem your prize, please contact Dr. Hazlina at the phone number on the screen. So please jot down the number because you need to contact her to redeem your prize. Now, the next prize, which is our Zeus coffee vouchers. So we have selected 3 winners here. Congratulations to Arnira Malik, Said Imran bin Said Hamim, and Dr. Marisa Baharom. Well done, congratulations. So you will receive Zeus coffee vouchers worth 30 ringgit each. Please contact me. Yeah, you have to contact me, Madam Nazreen, at my number there for you to redeem your prize. Okay, so big congratulations to you, and don't forget to contact us to claim your prize. So for those who didn't win today, jangan sedih. Don't worry, the real prize is the knowledge and inspiration that you have gained from today's session. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, dear participants, we have now come towards the end of our UITM, ACCA and FIA Virtual Open Day 2025. So to all of our participants, thank you so much for joining us this lovely Saturday morning. Okay, so I hope today that now you have a clearer picture of the ACCA pathway, the global recognition, and the many opportunities available to you if you choose UITM as the place to study. Once again, thank you so much everyone for being here today. We hope to, inshallah, welcome you soon as part of the UITM ACCA family. So remember, ACCA is not just a qualification, it's your passport to global opportunities. And UITM is here to guide you every step of the way, inshallah. So thank you so much, everyone. Hope to hear from all of you soon. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And goodbye, everyone. Take care. Thank you so much.